Yep, it's been a while. It's been a few months, but we're back with more Star Trek Resurgence. I've actually beaten the game by myself, solo. So I know everything that happens in the story, but I'm going to try and pick different choices when I can. But anyway, yeah. If you're watching on Twitch, leave a follow. If you're watching on YouTube, like, comment, subscribe. Tell me if you get a gameplay. This, as always, this will be exported to YouTube and streamed through YouTube the following day. Just give me about a few minutes to boil some water for some coffee so I can stay up a bit longer with you guys. And then we will be all set. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Parts 1 and 2 are on YouTube right now. This game is actually pretty long, so yeah, I finished it already the first time. So we're gonna move on to the scientific method. My water is on for my coffee, so I might have to be back in a few.
Gravitational harmonics failing to resolve. Warp bubble stability degrading. Increase output to maximum.
Increasing warp output to maximum.
It's happening again.
It is evident that presently the
Keep in mind,
Resolute
I don't
cannot
know a
achieve
whole
warp
bunch
propulsion.
about Star
Since
Trek.
our
I mean, I know a
diagnostics
few
rule out any
characters.
problems with our warp systems or anything about the ship. The problem appears to be the fabric of space itself.
Space itself? You're saying something about this region of space prevents warp travel?
Prevents it, or can't sustain it.
However improbable, that appears to be the case.
We need to know more.
The storm didn't stop us from leaving space dock and traveling here. But could it still be causing this interference with warp travel?
We must follow sound investigatory principles. Do not let an assumed conclusion drive your analysis.
Sometimes we need a little inspired thinking, Mr. Chovak. Captain Solano is on his way back from the negotiations, and I want to have some answers for him when he gets here.
Indeed. Given the facts at hand, we may be able to deploy subspace probes around the ship to construct a clearer picture of the phenomenon.
Around the ship. I'll prep a shuttle.
A few characters actually show up in this game, by the way, from the other series. If you know them all, leave it in the comments. If you're watching on YouTube.
I'm setting up a waypoint at a distance roughly corresponding to the edge of our warp field. When we get there, I'll deploy the first probe.
Done already? It hasn't even been 2 minutes yet. Okay, this is just telling you. Fly the shuttle to your objective to complete a mission. Use right trigger to fly forward. Use LT to fly backwards. Use the right to turn. Use the right stick to turn. Use L to strafe. The storm will push your shuttle around. Stay focused to maintain your course. Oh, forgot to read more. Oh well. First of all, let me just get my tea right. I'll be right back. This game is actually pretty fun. The story doesn't kick off
Commander
until like a
Westbrook,
few
the Resolute
hours later.
systems are calibrated to receive the probe's readings. We are standing by to reproduce the warp field collapse after the first probe is deployed.
Oh yeah, the
Thank
storms
you,
can
Mr.
hurt your
Chovak.
ship.
We'll be in position shortly.
The lightning
And
can hurt
Mr.
your ship,
Diaz,
so you
do
gotta be
take
careful.
care in piloting the shuttlecraft. Now is not the time to indulge in the human penchant for joyriding.
Chovak probably isn't such a fun guy to work for, huh?
I just don't take it personally. At least I try not to.
That's a very mature answer. Shows a positive attitude on your part. Remind me of it when I start complaining to you about the ship's new first officer.
Okay, if I'm not mistaken, I think the character from part 1, Jar Rydek, is a real character in the series and not made up for the game. I could be wrong. You'll let me know if I'm wrong in the comments.
This is far enough.
Because I remember her in one of the seasons
Transporting
of the
first
show.
probe into position. Westbrook here. The first probe is deployed.
Understood. We are reading it. We are about to replay the simulation.
Problem?
I just can't get a handle on her. Commander Rydek. On the one hand, she went with my idea to use a deflector pulse against the storm surge. On the other, she wouldn't listen to me when I was trying to get you through the hull walk alive. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with the new XO. I'm sure she's a fine officer, even if we don't see eye to eye. But
Okay, I'm
she didn't go
90%
through
sure
what the
Jar
rest of us
Rydek
did.
is a
You know
character
that.
in the game. I
And
mean,
it's
in
hard
that
to figure
show.
out why she'd be the one Solano chose instead of, well, one of us.
Well, Captain Solano likes her, and you trust the captain, right?
I do. Yeah. I'm not sure if the transitive property is really applicable here, Diaz, but I catch your drift.
Test is running. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1, mark.
Whoa. All right, that is definitely a problem with the fabric of space.
Because
We need to get another probe out there.
I know I've seen Jar Rydek in one of the Star Trek series. I can't think of which one though.
2 points of data, the Resolute and the probe.
Because as I said
we managed
before,
to get
there's
an
only one of
interference
her
pattern.
race,
I'm setting a
which means
waypoint
that
to a
she's
particularly
in
strong
the
area of
show,
interference.
one of the
We'll
shows.
deploy the second probe there. Listen, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice I wish someone had given me. Make sure you're never just one thing. And don't get so focused on what's in front of your face that you lose sight of the big picture. Before Rydek showed up, the captain pulled me into his ready room and told me he didn't think I had the people skills to be first officer. What a load of crap. I mean, if he'd said that about Chovak, sure.
I appreciate the advice, Commander. I'll make sure I keep my options open.
I don't need to tell you how to operate. You're already well on your way. You're a capable engineer. You're good in the field. Keep up the good work, and who knows? A solid jack of all departments like you could be Commander-in-Chief of Starfleet one day. Hell, Admiral Jellicoe started as a shuttle pilot. And there are places to go in the enlisted ranks, too. Of course, if you get an officer's commission, they'll put you on another ship.
I don't know. I'm pretty happy where I am.
You must be a glutton for punishment. Lieutenant Commander Chovak has been known to take decades to warm up to people.
I know the Diaz dude isn't a real character in the show because I never heard of him. But then again, as I said before, I've never watched Star Trek.
Here,
I mean,
this is close enough.
I've
Stop the
seen
engines.
bits and pieces from every series,
Deploying the probe.
but I haven't watched the full series of Star Trek.
Westbrook to Commander Chovak. We're ready for another sampling of data.
Very good. Running the simulation again. Warp field collapse in 3, 2, 1. Mark.
Put too much milk in this.
There it is again.
I saw it. It seems to be directional.
Well, what about the scans?
But I mean, it
Anything?
made it warm.
Here's the readings in relation to our local space. We've got the
Yeah, I'm sorry, this shit is too warm. I'll be right back. I know I'm pausing a lot, but this will be the last time. Okay, I'm back.
Atari Prime and the probes.
All this interference is overloading the sensor buffers. We're gonna have to triangulate the sensors manually.
Okay, how did I do this last time? Oh, right, gotta find the markers.
We got something.
These markers indicate peaks in the gravimetric interference patterns.
Let's see if I can find some more. Hold up. This is coming from the moon.
A beam that blocks warp travel.
Aimed right at us.
Someone is doing this intentionally. I don't know how they're doing it. This is like nothing I've ever seen.
We're under attack and we didn't even know it. We need to stop them. Unplug whatever it is they're hitting us with.
Now, look here. current readings of the ion storm.
These concentrations, they line up with the interference pattern. The storm and this beam, they're coming from the same place.
Carter, whatever petty local conflict brought us here, it's just a small part of something much bigger. Presently, we don't have an explanation for how they're doing this. One thing is clear. This is no fluke.
Thank you, Mr. Westbrook. I want a full briefing when I'm back on board. Solano out. A targeted weapon that inhibits warp travel. Coming from the moon Tau.
That would explain the difficulties my shuttle encountered. More importantly, the tenor of the Hotari during the negotiations.
And here I thought the Elydians would be the problem. Coming to peace talks in a warship. This wasn't supposed to be so complicated.
I don't know why the Hotari wanted us here, but it wasn't to negotiate.
Clearly, peace is not their intention.
Then what is? Why go through this charade?
Tylus, the Hotari representative, said she thought they found something in the mines. Galvin and Sidron brought it back to the palace, but they're keeping it under tight security. She's going to investigate it. I gave her my tricorder. I expect she'll contact us soon.
You found an ally.
Why would Tylus help us? Go behind her people's back? It's a fair question, considering.
She doesn't like the way Galvin and Sidron have been manipulating the situation. And the Queen. Working with us to go around them isn't the same as betraying her people.
That may be true.
She's certainly more likely to help than the other Hotari we've met.
That raises another question. Specifically, what do the other Hotari have to gain in bringing us here, only to make this hostile maneuver against us? There must be some motivation.
Unless they changed their minds between when they asked and when we got here.
Given their indifference to the negotiations, and what we now know about this warp-disrupting weapon, it's almost as if they want to start a war. And Sidron was convinced the only thing the Elydians respect is force.
I would say he's right about that. But at least they know when to hold back.
But that does not explain why they would turn their aggressions against us.
I don't think the Elydians know what's really down on that moon either.
Major Armintas said the revolt defied explanation. That the Hotari miners somehow harnessed the energy of the storm.
Harness the energy of the storm?
Doing that is beyond even our capabilities.
So is a weapon that disrupts warp travel.
There have been civilizations and entities, both past and present, far more technologically advanced than the Federation.
The Elydians and Hotari don't fall into that category.
But that is all the more reason to investigate further.
Commander Rydek, sorry to interrupt. We've received an urgent call from Hotari. The Queen's advisor, Tylus, has asked to speak with you.
Put her through.
Galvin and Sidron are still with the Queen. I've enlisted help to gain access to the room they have under guard. I don't have much time.
I'm not supposed to leave my post.
It's only for a moment. I so appreciate your help.
I found something. I'm sending you a scan.
Got it. Tylus, if we needed to gain access to the mines on Tau, is that something you could help us with?
I suppose it wouldn't be easy, but I have to go.
Tylus.
Can we reconnect?
Sorry, Captain. We've lost all contact.
We can only hope she escaped without harm.
It was hard to tell.
We have to help her. Send another shuttle.
We're
or
not
maybe...
doing anything yet. Not until we know more. Let's see the scan of whatever the hell that was.
Tylus suspects this came from the mines on Tau.
It appears to be of ancient origin, but the markings are unfamiliar.
We can run a full analysis when we get back to the Resolute. But if this came from the mines, then it might be the key to how they got the upper hand against
Who's
the
ever
living.
doing Spock's voices?
Then we have to go
Actually,
into
not
the
doing a
mines.
terrible job.
The
I
Federation
mean, he's not
will
Leonard
not allow
Nimoy.
it. We were, after all, sent here to be a neutral party in a peace negotiation.
Yes, I know
However,
that much. I know
we
Leonard
could
Nimoy
demonstrate
played
that the Hotari
Spock.
have acted in bad faith, which would enable us to investigate the mines on Tau with full justification. But of course, we would need conclusive proof before taking action. Otherwise, it could put us in a difficult position.
Whatever this artifact is may be proof enough. At least to satisfy the Federation.
Especially if we can show the Hotari are controlling the warp disruption. And targeting the Resolute.
We may have a better understanding once we analyze the device. But a mission to the mines, covert or otherwise, is not out of the question. And I will handle the Federation.
As I was telling Carter, I want all the data I can get on this warp problem. And the negotiating team's shuttle has been recording data all the way back from Hotari. Even better than our probes. So pull the sensor and engine ISOs from the Melville when it sets down.
Will do.
Wait, it's been 2 months since I've actually played this Star Trek game? Damn.
I'll join you and Chovak down in engineering to run another analysis after the briefing.
I didn't like this warp problem when we thought it was some astronomical anomaly. And I like it a hell of a lot less now that we know someone is doing it to us. How does it work? What do we even do about it?
What do you say we pull these chips and find out?
Took some damage on the way. That ionic interference scored the hull plating. Might be some micro welds. Let's try pulling together.
All right.
3, 2, 1. It won't budge. Gotta be the storm damage. We need to... Welcome back. Any excitement down on the surface?
Excitement? No. Nothing like that.
Hey, can you hand me the EJ7 interlock? From the toolbox.
I don't know what that is.
Not much use for one on a security detail, huh? Carter?
Yeah, I'll get it.
Okay, I'll apply pressure while you decouple the panel.
Yeah, this thing moves getting slow.
Here, I'll help.
We've got this.
Open up and say ah.
Thanks for the hand. We have to get these isolinear chips down to engineering.
No problem. You really know everything about these ships, don't you? The tools, the systems. Like a walking Starfleet technical manual.
Oh, I thought security was the detail to be on. Now all of a sudden you're interested in engineering?
Just making an observation.
Come on, start pulling chips.
Well, he's kind of really lucky that he dropped that thing.
Some kind of crystal formation?
I forgot how annoying this thing is to... is to focus on the items that you need.
This substance
Moves
is a
too
quantized
quick.
spin crystallization of hydrogen, carbon, and lithium. It's emitting tetrametric pulses at an interval of 3.8422 seconds.
Quantized crystallization isn't natural. I mean, it's only theoretical as a means to engineer matter on a subatomic level. What's it doing in there?
Wait. Regulation 364, subsection 9.
What?
Regulation 364, subsection 9 orders that in the case of an unknown foreign substance infiltrating a sealed system, it will be placed in secure confinement before further examination. Retrieve a containment module.
Don't you think we're more equipped to deal with whatever this is?
No. Before anything else, this is a security issue. You don't even know what this is.
Which is why we need to study it.
Once it's contained.
This is another piece of the puzzle we're trying to put together. We should be investigating it.
And you can. In the containment lab. But protocol is protocol. I can't make an exception. Not even for you two.
I'm still going to report these crystals to Commander Westbrook when we send the shuttle data.
And I will inform my superiors. I'm taking this just as seriously as you are. But I overheard talk about the warp disruption on the shuttle. Now these crystals? Maybe this situation is more than we can handle with just a science vessel. We could trigger a distress call, get Starfleet to send more ships. Or I could send a message to my old CO on the Adirondack. Get some combat-tested vessels. We shouldn't do this alone.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. If you think you could do it without getting in trouble.
I'll find a way.
Be very careful.
Okay, stand back. Get this to the containment lab. We'll get it set up for you. I'll let you know when it's safely confined.
Oh, we'll be there.
Last thing you want is to study this down in main engineering and have it explode next to the warp core. I just don't want to take any chances. Not with my friends.
You and Miranda seem to be back to normal. But she was a little off. I think this whole situation has her spooked. Maybe she knows more than us.
Oh, you'll know why later.
Or it's because this is all happening so fast. But she usually doesn't scare easy.
Yeah, there was something a little off about her.
Like that talk about sending a distress call? That was pretty out there. Although, you didn't seem to think so. She was probably just thinking out loud. I'm sure she'll come to her senses. This mission has enough complications stacking up.
Now, we'll get through it. You, me, and Miranda too.
Commander Rydek was able to work behind the scenes during the negotiations and made contact with a representative from the Hotari delegation named Tylus. She mentioned an unusual artifact of unknown origin being held under tight security within the Hotari Palace, which she believes came from the mines on Tau. Now, this artifact might have a connection to the revolt, to the storm, and to the warp disruption we now know has been targeted at the Resolute. Commander Rydek, if you want to take it from here.
Of course. Tylus managed to infiltrate the heavily guarded location within the palace and sent us these scans using my tricorder. It appears to be some sort of control panel, possibly connected to the warp disruption weapon originating on Tau. Of particular interest is this symbol, which we couldn't identify the origin of.
The Federation database has records from a vast number of civilizations. If anyone from Starfleet has come across this before, the system should recognize it.
Cross-referencing with Federation records.
Displaying symbols from Federation database with a 90% probability of match or higher. Select a symbol to further analyze.
Okay, what symbol was it? I think they have to like No, that's not it. Dude, that's not even close. I'm trying to remember which one it is. Okay, it might be this one.
.2% match.
Got it.
So, what are we looking at?
The design and composition indicate this is a glyph associated with the ancient Khan Empire. Their civilization collapsed over 600,000 years ago, but once spanned millions of systems with a population numbering in the trillions.
Fascinating. The Takan were once the most advanced, most powerful civilization in the galaxy.
Is it possible the Hotari found Takan?
I know about the Takan. I remember.
They
I
even
just,
know what
I
they
just,
have.
I just,
Our knowledge
God
of the
damn it.
Takan is limited. I have only encountered passing references to them.
Actually, I've heard of the Takan.
You have?
Quite impressive, Commander.
Computer, summarize the Enterprise D's discovery of a Takan outpost.
On stardate 41386.4, the USS Enterprise D, under the command of Captain Jean-Luc Picard, discovered a Takan outpost in the Delphi Ardu system.
I know about the
According
Enterprise,
to the mission
about
summary, an unbreakable energy-draining field
Jean-Luc
was deployed
Picard.
against the Enterprise and a Ferengi ship. The Enterprise was only able to escape after negotiating their release with an entity known as Portal 63, Guardian of the Takan Empire.
Portal 63, I know who that is
Unbreakable
also.
energy field. It starts to make sense.
What else is there?
Or at least
There's
I've
a
heard
lot
about
here.
Portal 63.
Let's take it piece by piece.
Select the aspect you wish to learn more about.
Someone from the Takan Empire is actually still around.
Or at least was, 16 years ago.
Computer, what other information do you have on Portal 63, Guardian of the Takan Empire?
The entity known as Portal 63 is of an unknown nature. A biped humanoid, he was unaware that the Takan Empire no longer existed at the time of the encounter. He was able to control the crystal-based technology of the Takan outpost through apparent telepathic means. It was by his choice that the Enterprise was released from the energy draining field after Commander William T. Riker of the Away Team argued on behalf of both Starfleet and the Ferengi.
I know who William T.
Telepathic
Riker
control of their
is
technology.
also.
As I have said, they were the most advanced civilization in the galaxy.
The technology to capture and hold the Federation flagship would have to be unbelievably powerful. Computer, what else can you tell us about the energy-draining field the Takan used?
The Enterprise D was unable to break free on its own. The precise nature of the technology was never fully understood. Only that the crystalline technology used was beyond the comprehension of then-current Starfleet science.
The engineering team found a quantized spin crystal formation in the shuttle you took to Hotari. They registered tetrametric radiation coming from it.
We have Takan technology on board right now?
We might. I'll run a full analysis in the containment lab.
There appears to be some sort of restriction order from Starfleet. Computer, explain this restriction.
A Starfleet directive similar to General Order 7 forbids entering the Delphi Ardu system or attempting to make contact with Portal 6-3.
Starfleet doesn't throw up a no trespassing sign for just anybody.
I suppose it makes sense considering what happened to the Enterprise D.
So I heard that I heard that the newest Final Fantasy game is coming to Xbox.
What
but,
sort of planet is Delphi Ardu 4?
I don't know if it's a
Delphi
rumor or not. I heard it
Ardu
is
4
coming to
an M-class
Xbox,
planet,
but it's going to be coming to
a barren,
Xbox
rocky world with little to
real
no
late.
vegetation and frequent ion storms.
Not for a while, and
the giant crystals that grow there absorb energy, but
what's
it
the
is
name?
not understood
Baldur's
how they
Gate
do
3
so.
will also be coming to
the entire Delphi
Xbox
Ardu system,
soon after the
consisting of
PlayStation.
11
Don't know when
planets,
though.
was considered completely
Apparently they're having
uninhabited
problem with the
until
Xbox
encounter
version
with
of the
Portal
game.
6-3.
Frequent
that
ion
ready.
storms. That can't just be a coincidence.
The Elydians should have crushed the revolt. But if the Hotari have Takan technology and can control it, I see why they're willing to negotiate peace. For all we know, this could be just the beginning. And we're up against something greater than we can imagine.
This kind of power in Hotari hands, it could be dangerous. For everyone.
Agreed. Which is why we should find a way to neutralize it if we can.
If it helps, we've been able to triangulate the source of the ionic interference and warp disruption to a specific mine on Tau. Engineering used the latest data from your shuttle to pinpoint its origin. There.
So we know where to look.
We need to know what's down there. What the Hotari are hiding, to better understand what we're up against. And to neutralize it if we can.
Captain, embarking on a mission to the Hotari moon would not be viewed favorably by either side. However, given the circumstances, we are entirely within our rights to defend ourselves.
I just want to make sure this doesn't blow up in our faces. Which is why I'm thinking of sending Commander Rydek on a covert mission to Tau. Assuming you're up to the task. It would require absolute secrecy. And obviously, it's not without risk.
I'll get the away team in and out. They're in safe hands with me.
Under normal circumstances, that would be the case. Given the sensitive nature of this incursion, I'm afraid you'll have to go it alone. I'm hoping Tylus can accompany you. The priority is to avoid detection. It's a calculated risk. The last thing we need is to get caught and then blamed for violating our neutrality and aggravating an already tense situation. We can't afford any mistakes, which is why I've chosen you.
Tylus will be essential to my success. Not only her knowledge of the mines, but her ability to gain access, particularly now that we know which mine we need to get into.
Make sure she understands the need to keep this covert.
She's not going to want her people to know about this.
Get in touch with Tylus and make the necessary arrangements as discreetly as possible.
Bridge to Captain Solano. The Elydians have moved additional ships to the edge of the Hotari system. Current heading is straight for the homeworld.
Understood.
It would seem we no longer have the luxury of waiting. In that case, may I suggest you and I return to Hotari Prime. Doing so will provide Commander Rydek as much time as possible to complete her mission.
Agreed. We'll hail the Queen's delegation from my ready room. We all know what we need to do. Dismissed.
Yeah, we got like 2 games about space
Petty
travel
Officers
and like
Diaz and Ed
months apart.
Where is the crystal
like
formation
a few weeks
that you
apart
found
from
in the
each other.
shuttle? I have
Months
tasked
apart from
Ensign
each other.
Calloway with performing a full analysis of the tetrametric pulses.
Security brought it to the containment lab.
I was just there. They don't know anything about it. Security never checked it in.
Miranda never got there?
She's the one that had the crystal formation?
Yeah, her and the rest of the security detail from the negotiations.
Diaz to Maris. Carter Diaz to Miranda Maris.
You guys are about to find out why she was acting
Commander
weird.
Westbrook to Petty Officer Miranda Maris. Respond.
Something's not right.
She's still on the ship. She has to be.
Computer, locate Petty Officer Miranda Maris.
Petty Officer Miranda Maris is in the isolinear storage array on Deck 5.
I'll go find her.
Good.
I am sure Mr. Diaz can attend to this on his own.
Someone improperly pulled these isolinear chips.
The plot is about to thicken.
Who did this? Miranda, you in here? Hello? Hello?
Finally, someone with peripheral vision and something.
Miranda?
What the hell are you doing, Carter? You almost knocked me to the lower level. What's wrong with you?
Are you all right?
I'm fine. But you didn't answer the question.
Commander Westbrook said the crystal formation we found in the shuttle never made it to the containment lab.
I don't know why he'd say that. I brought them there myself. Whatever he told you, he got it wrong. All I know is where I left them.
If that's the case, let's both go down there and find them. It's that simple.
I don't have time for that. I have work to do. Now, if we're done here, I have to go. Do you mind? I'm in the middle of my shift.
Where are you going? What could be more important than tracking down those crystals? You were the one that said they had to be secured. They're dangerous.
And I did secure them. They're out of my hands now.
I want a straight answer, Miranda. What are you doing here?
Carter, you don't have to treat me like a stranger just to prove a point. We're friends. You can still act like it. Unless you don't want that either.
I trust you. I'm just trying to understand what's going on here.
Then you can go back and tell your superiors I delivered the crystals, and that's all I know. That seems simple enough to understand.
Etzelar de Diaz. What's the holdup?
Don't answer that. You and I can work this out. Please.
Edsilar de Diaz. Are you okay? Carter? Carter! Damn it.
All right. Now can we talk?
So I see you found each other.
You were taking so long, the commander sent us to see what the problem was. Diaz, you were sent here with specific orders, and fighting your crewmate wasn't one of them. What the hell is going on here?
Let's just let them explain.
I'd like to hear that, because I know what it looks like.
There's something seriously wrong with her. She's not herself, I'm telling you.
What does that mean?
It doesn't mean anything.
Well, for one, she was copying data onto this.
This drive is unauthorized.
There are ISOs all over the floor.
And that's why I was in here, investigating this situation. And when Carter came looking for me, we got our wires crossed. It wasn't anything more than that.
Even if that was true, it still doesn't answer what happened to the crystal formation that she took. And she isn't helping.
I can't tell you what I don't know. I brought them where they belonged, and that's where I left them.
I don't know what's going on here, but I think we need to call it into security. She can explain herself in the brig.
Hold on a minute. We don't need to put this on anyone's permanent record. Carter said you're not yourself. If something's wrong with you, we should head to sickbay and the doc will fix you right up.
Yeah, I haven't felt right since I came back from Hotari. I think I should see the doctor.
You two know her? If you really think she's not well, we can take her to sickbay first.
I picked the other
But what
option
I know
last
is this
time,
is a
so I'm
security
gonna
breach.
take her to
We should treat
sickbay.
it as such.
See what happens.
Just let me go see the doctor.
She did have a bumpy ride back on the shuttle. Come on, Carter. We should get her taken care of.
Let's take her to sickbay. It's better than the brig, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Fine. Get checked out by medical. You two go with her. I'll put this back together.
Okay, so this scene plays out exactly the same. She doesn't leave. We just get into the same fight again.
Rydick here.
This is Zermatt. Any trouble getting to the surface?
I'm really starting to miss transporters.
As long as this storm is around, you'd better learn to like shuttles. But if you can find the cause of the interference, we might be able to get back to transporting.
As if I needed another incentive. We both know there's a lot more than that riding on this.
Fair enough. You'll need to get in and out of the mine undetected, so I hope Minister Tylus can help in that regard.
So do I.
And to keep this covert, we'll refrain from contact unless absolutely necessary.
Understood. Rydick out.
Okay, I'm gonna play for another 5 minutes and I'm gonna get some sleep. Can barely keep my eyes open. There's a crouch button in this game. And also there's mandatory stealth sections in this game. Well, at least one mandatory stealth section.
The ionic interference is coming from underground. I should find a safer way down there.
Why's the camera all close up on her ass back for?
I saw your shuttle take off. Hopefully no one else did. It's good to see you. Even under these unfortunate circumstances.
When you called to give us a scan, it sounded like they caught you. I was worried you'd been hurt.
It was nothing I couldn't handle.
Lead the way. I'll fill you in on what we've learned about the situation.
Follow me.
The device Galvin and Sidron brought back from the mines is being used to control some sort of warp disruption weapon that has the Resolute trapped in Hotari space. According to our readings, the power source for that device is on this moon, at the specific coordinates I sent you.
That sounds impossible. But explains the rumors of the Hotari controlling the ionic storm.
We strongly suspect the device was created by an ancient empire known as the Takan.
The Takan?
Once the most powerful civilization in the galaxy, but they've been gone for over 600,000 years.
It's hard to believe there's something like that on Tau.
Which is why I need proof. If we find hard evidence that Galvin and his allies are hiding dangerous Takan technology, I can convince the Federation to let us intervene.
Understood. We're almost there.
So anyway, as always, hope you guys are enjoying the stream. Sorry I haven't been talking much. It's kind of difficult with these type of games to actually talk without interrupting the story. You know what I mean, right?
That's the mine?
Okay, we're gonna go to let it save, and then I'm gonna end it for the night.
It's enormous.
Just one of the thousands across Tau. The pride of Hotari.
How do we get inside?
If you want to see the first two parts, you can watch it on YouTube.
Transporting equipment into
on the YouTube channel, it should be in the links linked in the about section of the
Well, that's good
of
to
Twitch.
hear.
As long as you can avoid being seen, I should be able to talk my way past any miner. And provide a little distraction for you in the process.
How do I avoid being seen?
You don't use the door. How dare you! Don't you know who I am? I am Tylus Altaris, Minister of Diplomatic Affairs.
That's not...
The Queen would be furious to hear you tried to deny me entry.
The Queen? But I just...
You just what? Just now realize the trouble you've made for yourself? And who exactly do you think you're going to report this to? Because I'll be reporting it as well, to someone much further.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna continue this next time. By next time, I mean tomorrow. I'll play this, and then don't know what I'll play tomorrow. That's for the second game. but I will play something else. Okay, we can actually read this real quick. So anyway, in that section where you gotta fly the ship, the Onyx Storm will fill your path with dangerous hazards. Green lights will damage your shuttle. Take damage 3 times will fail the mission. You can fly through the rings created by the storm if you pilot carefully. Oh yep, you get 3 strikes and you're out basically, but there's a story mode difficulty where the 3 strikes don't matter. Waypoint and navigation. Follow the lit path to reach the next waypoint. The navigation computer displays information about the area you are, the area around you. The exclamation point indicates a storm hazard. The what the hell are those symbols anyway? But indicates an asteroid. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the stream. I will see you guys tomorrow as always. These will be exported to YouTube the following day and restreamed through YouTube the following day. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You might have to watch this whole entire cutscene again tomorrow though, because I did not see the save icon. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Whatever time of day it is for y'all. I'll see you guys, as I said before, tomorrow. I'm out.